Hey there everyone, Hitesh here and welcome to another video. In this video, I'll walk you through about the remaining of the stuff that how we can finish our app, what I showed you in the earlier demo. Now the whole idea is, so far what we have done is, we have created this service file. This service file will act as a central place of truth and central place of information. In this file, we have designed all the functions and all their types, like we have the constructor. As soon as something gets started, we can initiate by just creating or using a new keyword. That's what the class is for. And we have also created create account, login, get current user, logout. And if we want more features, we can just add it into the same file. And we'll be using this one. Now the next phase is simply to make sure that our app is all the time aware of that whether the user is logged in or not, whether he is already a user, then get the current user and all such details. For this thing, we are going to utilize a React hook. And again, React Native is built on top of React. So existing React knowledge is a little bit required, but still I'll walk you through with that. Now, one of the interesting thing about this is that we are going to be, first of all, I'll be sharing this link of the code as well. In case you are not following along, you can just copy this entire service file from here just with a one click. So I'll be keeping the link in the description section as well. And what we'll be using is this create context. Now, this create context is an amazing way of creating your own hooks. Basically, create context is a hook itself, which actually allows you to create providers and consumers. What do you mean by providers and consuming? At any point of time, you can just, all of your components will be aware of certain knowledge or certain parameters that whether this is available or not, or even what values are available in it. So this is exactly what we are using. So there is a provider and there is a consumer. Our goal right now is to create a provider out of it. It's really simple. You have to provide some of the default values into it. That's whatever the default value, it's an object. You can pass on as many default values to it. And then that's it. There is nothing much to it. For example, here they are creating theme context and they have to say dot provider. And then the values they have to just provide like theme here or the default values, whatever you like to call it. So this is what we'll be creating. There is nothing too much into it. As the consumer, it's rather much more easier. But first we are going to focus based on this, that let's go ahead and create a simple consumer of this one or provider basically. Let's go back onto the code part, come up here. And we can now close this one. So in the Appwrite, we'll be creating a context of it. So right click and create a new file. And we'll be calling this one as simply Appwrite context.tsx, of course. Now there are basically three phases of this. First, we need to worry about the default values. We also need to worry about the types because we are working on the TypeScript. And finally, creating a default context for it and a provider out of it. So that's the basics of it. We need to worry about that. So React Native functional export, yep, that is good. We'll be exporting it not like this way, but we'll be worrying about that in a minute. Right now, we don't need to worry. The step number one, whenever you are creating such a context provider, whatever the service you are using, first bring that service. Let's go ahead and say we'll be bringing Appwrite, and this will be coming up from the custom service that we have designed. So the service file. Okay, so step one is done. We have brought in the service. Now after this, we have to create a app context type because we are using TypeScript. Otherwise, it would have not been necessary. So we'll be saying Appwrite or not the Appwrite, app context type. App context type. This is nothing. This is a type system that we are designing. So we have this Appwrite as a type, which will be coming up from the Appwrite itself, the service that we brought in. So one thing can be this one. Another thing is if somebody is logged in or not. So we'll be saying is logged in. This will be of type Boolean as well. There we go. And finally, we'll be having this set is logged in. Now this is right now not defined, but obviously you might have already guessed this is going to be a use state hook, which will be able to manipulate the things. Very basic, very simple. We are just declaring it in advance. Obviously, this is going to be a type of function. So we'll just go like this and this will not return anything. So this will be a void. Now what this is going to get, obviously we have one field to just toggle. So we'll just saying it will expect a parameter is logged in, which will be of type Boolean. That's it. So we have designed our type here. This is not really compulsory, but in case you want to have a type safety, then this is obviously required. Now we need to create a React context. This is not the provider we are creating. We need to just create a context first. The way how we design this is first we go ahead and say export const, and we'll be saying Appwrite context. Again, I repeat, this is not a provider. This is just a context. In order to do so, we have to simply go ahead and say we want to create context. So the second one that we want to use here. Obviously, this is a context. So we need to provide some default values to it. And that's why the type system was designed. So we'll be saying that, hey, you'll be getting the app context type. No, so yeah, first one, app context type. Now, what are the values you want to pass on into this one? There is nothing. It's just a method just like this. And inside this, we have to pass on the values. So there we go. Now, the best thing is, obviously, this type is expecting all these values. So just provide all these values, just copy and paste them. Obviously, we cannot use these values as well, but these are the data types that we have to say. This one will get all the values from new Appwrite. That's it. That's all what we have to do. Of course, this is a class, so we'll just go like this. And there we go. A new object is being created. That's it. The Boolean is Boolean, so we'll just say by default the value will be false. We will be creating a separate segment of the default values in a minute, but this is just creating a context of it. And after this is going to be a method. So we'll just say, hey, this is going to be a method like this, but instead of saying void, whatever you want to do, you can just do it. Now this is what we have, this Appwrite context. Okay. Now once we have done this, we need to create finally the provider. This is the steps we have to always follow. This is a rewritable code. So we're going to go ahead and say export const, and instead of Appwrite context, we could have written the code here as well, but we want to create a provider as well. So we'll just say Appwrite provider. And this is going to be the value which we'll be using in the main file as sandwiching file. In case you have used Redux or something in the past as well, this is exactly how it looks. And this is how exactly they define. Now we need to say that this Appwrite is going to be a functional component because there will be more things like children's and all of that will be coming up. So we have to design its data type. This will be FC. This is a given type in the React, which is functional component. As soon as I bring this, notice here it is FC, and you can check its definition as well, that this is actually a functional component in which you can provide an interface and whatnot. There is a lot of things you can go ahead and do into this one. All right. So once we have this functional component, we have to say, hey, what kind of props you will be expecting? Yes, this time it will be expecting a children. So obviously this will be a sandwiching component. So we have to say simply props with children. So this is the one that is going to take. Now, since we are accepting props with children, now you can go ahead and without any difficulty can expect or accept children's. That one thing is clear. Now, this is always a repeatable thing. You can also save this as a snippet. So in case anytime you have to create any context, these are the steps. That's how we do this in the React Native. All right. Now, the one thing that's remaining is actually two things. First is declare your state. The second one is provide default values. These default values you have to pass on. In case you remember this is just exactly what we studied. So in case I come back here, notice here the default values. This is the object that we have to create. There will be nothing in this object. Whatever your values you are actually writing in the context, these are the same values. Okay. And why we are creating a state? Because obviously this is logged in needs to toggle its values, and this is going to be done by set is logged in. All right. So let's take it one by one. First is declare your state. Okay. So we'll be saying, we'll be declaring a state just like this. So there will be two values like this. Obviously the first value we are going to go ahead and say is logged in. Really simple. And we'll be using our classic use state of React, and we'll be providing a default value into this. What should be the default value? Obviously false. So there we go. Now next thing is, let's go ahead and declare a default. So we'll be saying default value. Since the documentation says a default value, we are going to call it as default value. There is nothing in the default value. These all exact value comes as it is. There is no difference into it. Of course, minor, you don't provide the values into it because values you have already provided in the context. So you don't need to provide these values again here. All you have to say, this Appwrite is good enough just like this, is logged in. It doesn't get any value. It will take its value just from there itself. And the set is logged in. We have already defined that this is a function. So obviously no need to worry there as well. Just for the safety measure, let's keep a column here. All right. Now the final step is just exactly what we saw in the documentation. We simply go ahead and say once the context is being create context is being there. So theme context is there just like this. We'll be saying theme context.provider. Notice here theme context.provider. So what is the difference in our code? We simply created an Appwrite context. So it will be Appwrite context.provider. Yeah. Exactly copy paste from the documentation. No worries. Obviously, one more thing here. Here they take actually a page component itself. We don't know what component will be coming up. So instead of this, we'll be just going ahead and saying children. We are accepting children. So here we are going to go ahead and say Appwrite context dot provider. And obviously it's asking a value. The value is going to be default value. Default value. There we go. And this app context.provider will be a closing component as well. So let's go ahead and close this. All right. So now you have created a component which is good enough, and this component can be reused at any point of time. Now we're going to go ahead and create a couple of components for ourselves. Not much, but basically just one component which will be a loading component. So in case some values are brought in from the Appwrite or somewhere, we can actually show this component in the meantime. It's a very, very basic component. There is nothing big deal in this one. So we'll be creating a new folder and we'll be calling it as components. And this will be just a loading component. Loading.tsx. So React Native functional export. Yeah, this is the loading that we have. Now in the part of styling, we don't have much. First, let's go ahead. Do we have the styling as well? Let's see. React Native functional styling, export styling. Yeah, there we go. So finally we have the styling. In the styling part, we just have a loading component which is taking all the space. So we're going to go ahead and say we'll be having just one style container, and inside it will be centering everything. So for that, let's go ahead and say flex is 1. Then the align items is going to be center. There we go. And then another one, justify content, which is also going to be center, the classic way to center everything up. So the styles are there. Now let's go ahead and design a loading component. So we'll be just coming up here instead of returning it like this, or we can just use this. Let's go ahead and first have a style. The style is going to be styles.container. We don't have anything much. Now instead of this providing the text like this, we'll be having an activity. Let's just keep this text also. We'll be loading an activity indicator, which is given to us by React Native. Activity indicator, there we go. And this actually takes a couple of parameters. So just like this, the first one is going to be size, which is going to be large, because why not? You can go ahead and use other values as well. So size is going to be large or small. We'll be going with the large. And what color you want to go? I do have a specific color in mind, so I'll be using that one. While preparing the app, actually we use this exact color. So I'll be going ahead and using this. Feel free to use any color that you like. All right, so the next step is all done. So we are exporting, and I really like that if this piece of code is actually at the very end. I feel more comfortable with that. Again, no such big deal. You can export it wherever you like. All right, so this component is all done. So our Appwrite is all done. We have done with the services. We are done with this. So that is good. And we are also done with our loading component. All right, now we need to create some of the routes as well. So let's go ahead and create the routes. Now, what these routes are going to be, basically where you want to actually take any particular user. So we'll be designing them next. So what do you mean by creating routes? Now, routes are actually app stacks. We call them in the world of React Native as app stacks. Now, if the user is logged in, we'll be giving him X route. If the user is not logged in, we'll be giving him Y route. So this is how it works. At the index file or the router file itself, we'll be checking whether the user is logged in or not. And based on the data which is given to us by the provider now, not the service file, because service file is now injecting everything into provider, we'll be inquiring from the provider that, hey, give me the current user. If he's able to give the current user, then we'll be giving him X route. Otherwise, we'll be giving him Y route. That's all, really simple. So let's go ahead and create our routes folder and try to. Once I'll write the code, you will understand it more, although it is very simple. There is nothing too much on to worry about that part. Let's go ahead and say routes. And inside this route, we'll be creating 3 files. So let's go ahead and create a new file. The first one is going to be simply appstack.tsx, of course. This is going to be the route where the application actually lives. We'll be creating one more file. This one will be authstack.tsx. This is going to be the route where user will be redirected back either to log in or register, wherever that we want to. So this is what we'll be doing. And the third one being, this one is going to be router.tsx. Now in the router.tsx, we'll be writing simply an use effect hook, which will be checking whether the user is logged in. Based on he is logged in or not. If he's not logged in, we'll be serving him auth. If he's logged in, we'll be serving in app.appstack. All right, so how this app stack is going to work. So the app stack part is actually super simple. We don't have that screen as of now. So let's just go ahead and create at least the files of that screen as well. Then we'll come back. So right click and a new folder, and we'll be creating screens. This particular tutorial is not about creating the screen. You can create screen within minutes as well. I'll be giving you the codes as well. But right now we'll just create a fictional components of the screen as well. The first file that we'll be creating is going to be home.tsx, of course. And we'll be creating React Native functional style export. So we have the home, that's it. That is all what we'll be doing right now. I'll be working on them later on. And then we have login and sign up as well. So right click new. This one will be signup.tsx and React Native functional export style. So we have sign up component ready as well. And let's create one more. This one will be for login. These are nothing more. We just will be collecting the values, calling our service, throwing the values. That's it. So login.tsx and React Native functional export. This is all good enough for us. All right, so we'll be closing these files because we don't need them as of now. The sign up, home, nothing. Let's first talk about our app stack itself. So for the app stack, again, we'll be using React navigations and all of that. So React Native functional, this one is good enough. We don't need this much. And first, let me bring this because I find more comfort here. There we go. First, let's bring this one because this is an app stack. If somebody is able to load the app stack, then we want to show him all the screens that he should be visiting. For example, let's go ahead and bring in the home. This is the screen. If you want to show more screen, obviously you can go ahead and show you this one as well. Now, obviously, we need to define the app stack param list as well. So let's go ahead and have this export type app stack param list. So if there are any parameters or something, we can just pass on these ones as well. Although not required as of now, so I'll be going ahead and saying undefined, but still I'm giving you all the good practices so that later on if you have any values, no code is actually alien to you. Now let's go ahead and just simply create the stack as well, just like we always do. Remember the tutorial where we learned about this. So we'll be saying import stack and we'll be saying create navi. This is actually a little bit difficult to find. So let me first go ahead and import this because I don't remember it honestly. Import something and that will be coming up from @React Native Stack. And the name of this one is actually create Native Stack Navigator. Yeah, this one. Come on, suggestions. I can just copy this in case no suggestion. So create native navigator stack and what you are going to get, not like this. There we go. And we'll be saying that we want app, actually copy paste this again. For some reason, I'm not getting suggestions. So this is what navigator, create native stack navigator should be all good. Okay, now let's see why the problem is actually coming in. Cannot find namespace. Create native. Why is it not able to get React navigation? Let me just quickly check why it's not able to get this. Found the bug. It was really simple. It was not imported. It was const. Yeah, it happens to everyone. That's why I don't remove these parts. These are actually essential thing. Now you'll be surprised to know that how much easy it is now to actually work on with this. We have the stack. We have already learned about this in the last videos. So I can do is just return, instead of view, I'll return the stack. Obviously not stack. We will be returning the navigator. And similarly, at the end, we'll be having stack.navigator. That's it. Oh, my bad. Too many stacks. All right. Okay, so this is all good. Now we have to provide what screen options and what the screen you want to say. We have done this once. It is super easy. So we'll be saying, hey stack, give me the screen. And what is the screen that you want to load? The screen name is going to be home. What component you want to load in this one? So component is going to be home, which we brought in just there. In case you have more screens, you can just go ahead and do this. Now we'll be also providing some of the screen options as well. We can go ahead and do this here. And we'll be saying screen options. And inside this, we'll be passing on an object. The object is simply, the first one is going to be header title align. No, not that one. Header title align, yeah, that one. And that one will be simply saying center. Come on, suggestions. All right, center. And another one is I don't want the headers to be visible, so I'll be just passing on header, back, title. Yep, I live on suggestions, visible, and we want to call it as false. And that is it. If you have more screens or anything like that, you can just go ahead and provide this. Told you, it is super simple after this point. So this is simply the app stack that we want to go. And for the auth stack, yes, it will be exactly like same. In fact, so much same, we can just go ahead, copy all of this, copy this, move into auth stack, and simply go ahead and paste it up here. All right, now let's go ahead and track it one by one. We obviously don't want to call it as just like this, export default app stack. We want to export actually the auth stack. Let me first app stack. Are we exporting this? We can actually remove this. We are not using any styling here, so why to actually have the styling? So first remove this. We don't need this one here as well. So instead of this, let's go ahead and directly export this. Less code, little bit cleanup. Okay, now again, same kind of inspiration that I was giving to you, that hey, now we can just literally go ahead, copy all of this and paste it up here. So we'll select everything, paste it up here. That's all what we have to do. Instead of this app stack, we obviously are going to go ahead and say this one as auth stack. There we go. There is nothing too much of change, but still we'll be going through with the code. So this styling, if it is not being used, obviously remove this part. We obviously need to bring in home. Instead of the home, there will be different screens we need to bring in. Obviously, that makes sense. Let's go ahead and import sign up screen. And let's go ahead and import, if I can write import, we'll be bringing in login. There we go. So these are the two screens I want to lock in into our stack. So that is it. Now app stack parameter list. This one will be obviously auth stack parameter list. Auth stack parameter list. What are the values you want to pass on? There is no values right now that I want it to be aware of. But in case if I have later on, so I'll just keep my options open. So for sign up, I'll be saying undefined, and I'll duplicate this one. For login also, I'll be saying undefined. And there we go. That's it. Now, obviously, this one will be passed on. So copy and paste this one here. The parameters are passed on to create native stack navigator, mouthful. And here we have the auth stack. So exactly same. Instead of this, now we need to pass on two screens. This one will be exactly same. So the name is going to be first login. The order doesn't really matter here. And we'll be saying login. Have a duplicate of this one. And we'll be saying this one is sign up. Sign up. And we'll be bringing this sign up. Copy this, paste this. Hopefully I have not done any typos. All right, so told you it's super simple. The main actually router is the one which is going to decide that which app stack should be loaded up. This is also super simple. There is nothing too much onto this one as well. So don't worry, I'll walk you through. This one will be writing from the scratch because I want to talk about every single piece of code, every single line of code. React, native, functional, export. Yeah, export is good enough because we are not actually talking about any style sheet or something like that. Okay, first let's go ahead and minimize this one and actually we can just remove this one. We can go ahead and say export const router. That is good. All right, let's come back here. The first thing that we'll be bringing is navigation container. So we'll be bringing in something from, okay, let's remove this. This one is @. Then we need from native. What do we want is navigation container. There we go. So this is the navigation container. I'll walk you through with this one as well. Okay, first and foremost, the most important thing for us in order to actually work is Appwrite. So this one will be Appwrite context. Right now it's not able to get it because it is not aware of the file. Let's go ahead and say we want to go into one directory back inside the Appwrite, and we have a file Appwrite context. So from this, if you remember, we actually have an Appwrite context, not the provider, context. Why? Now understand this one, just a second. Now, the reason why we exported this Appwrite context as well, so that it can actually have this Appwrite as an object. Since we are creating a new object, this object is actually consulting with this constructor. At the time you create a constructor, You simply go ahead and set up your endpoint, and you can actually make all the queries and whatever the values you want to pass on. You can actually use this object to access all these methods here. That is why this was created. We will be creating or bringing in loading component as well. So let's go ahead and bring in this component as loading as well. Maybe it takes some time. Routes, we need to bring both because we'll be serving both of the routes. So first one is app stack, and the second one being auth stack. There we go. So remove this and let's have this one. Okay. So now we have both of these routes. Now comes up the most interesting part, that how we are going to load this one. First of all, we need to have this loading state as well. So let's first go ahead and create a user state. Const is loading, and we'll be having set is loading. Come on. Set is loading, and that will be using our use state. So use state, and use state will be accepting a Boolean value, and we are going to provide a Boolean value of true. By default, the loading state is true. We'll be saying Boolean. There we go. All right. Now we need to use the use context. Now this use context will be able to give you all the values. Which all values, you might be asking? Yes, that's a good question. In case you remember, as soon as you use this create context, these are the values which will be available to us. Okay, let's go ahead and bring them up in here. So we'll be saying, hey, I want to use some values which the context actually will give me. So I'll just say use context. There we go. And whose context you are using? That is the most important. We are using the Appwrite context. Got it? So Appwrite context is getting used. What all the values that it is giving? If you just press Control space, the suggestion will be saying that, hey, it gives you Appwrite, and another suggestion is logged in that it gives you, and then it also allows you to toggle the values. So, oops, and that is logged in. So all the values are actually given to us. Now, first thing we have to do is how we are going to find whether any user is logged in. So as soon as this router loads up, we can use the use effect hook. Very carefully use this one. Use effect snippet. Yep. So now this will be dependent on what factor? This will be dependent on two factor. First of all, this bottom array is about the array of dependencies. So the first dependency is Appwrite. Obviously, if there is any change in Appwrite, we want to re-render the things, or we want to recalibrate the things. The second one is set is logged in. So if there is any change in is logged in or logged in, this is also dependent on that. Now, what do you want to do? Now here inside this, first I'll remove all of this. Now here, as you know, in the context, I have this Appwrite with me. This can actually go ahead and use a method which is get current user. Remember, in the service, we wrote this one. Now we can chain it on with the then classic chaining. If the first one is successful, the second one will get it. So in this, you will be getting a response. So let's go ahead and say that, hey, we want a response, not response, response, and we can fire up a callback just like this. Now this, if we get successfully, then we are going to go ahead and say first is logged in. We are going to use this, and we are going to set it as first of all false here. So right now we are just using it as false. Now we don't need to actually keep it in the true state. We can make it into the false state. And now if there is any response or not, that is the big question. So if there is response, means we have got some values, then we can actually go ahead and again, I'll copy this because I'll be using it, copy it. And if there is a response, then we are going to go ahead and turn it again as true because we want to evaluate and all of this. So set is, no, this one is loading actually, is loading. Yeah, copy that. So loading needs to become, set should be lowercase. Yeah, set should be lowercase. Set is loading. So loading should be false and set is logged in should be true. So now the user is logged in. If we are getting some response, that means user is logged in. Now, just for the sake of final, let's go ahead and have a catch as well, just for the safety purpose. And in this one, we probably are going to receive an error. So we are not going to be using it. We'll be just setting the errors. So underscore, because we are not using the error variable. But in case you want to use the error variable for logging or something, you can go ahead and use this one. So again, same thing, is loading is going to become false. In any case, in all the cases, it becomes false. But the set login set is logged in, that needs to become false also. Let me again revise this because this is the interesting part. So as soon as we actually first got the context of it, once the context is with us, we actually get Appwrite is logged in and set is logged in with us. Now, once we are actually having this, we also have created one thing which is loading to true for ourselves because we want to load the component conditionally based on that. I want that if something changes in the Appwrite or set is logged in, we want to do something. So for that, we are using a hook which is use effect hook. Now, inside this hook, we use Appwrite, which is now an object of a class, and we use a method of get current user, which we defined in our service file. And then we simply use a .then and a .catch method. In the .then, in any case, we obviously have to set the loading as false. In both the cases we are doing it, loading needs to go away. And then we are simply checking if we get a response or not. If we get a response, that means it's a true, otherwise it's a false. So based on is loading and we have this is logged in, now we can do conditional rendering for this one. So first and foremost, before we actually return this one, let's check whether the things are actually loading or not. So we can just go ahead and check this by a simple is loading. So this is our state, is loading. And if it is loading, we're going to go ahead and return the standalone component, which is a loading component. That's it. Nothing big deal. If the loading state is disabled, this piece of code will never run. It will directly jump into this one. If it is jumping into this one, then we have to have this navigation container and we have to provide what navigation you are allowed to actually use. So we'll just remove this one entirely and we'll be saying, hey, navigation container, just like this. Now inside this, based on whether the user is logged in or not. So if the user is logged in, we'll say is logged in, do something, otherwise do something. So if in the first part it is, if the user is logged in, then I want to show him the app stack. There we go. And if it is not logged in, then we want to show him the auth stack. There we go. So there we go. So now, I hope now you understand that how we are actually triggering the things. Now how we are loading the stacks, even navigation stack, based on the user is logged in or not. And everything is thanks all to this Appwrite, the context of the Appwrite that we are bringing in. So this is a perfect way of how you can actually utilize all of this. Now the only thing that's remaining is what do you want to show in the home? What do you want to show in the login? What do you want to show in the sign up? Now obviously I'll show you what do you want to show in the home as well. There is nothing too much. I'll just show you that how you can actually grab, make a request of the current user, grab some data, and then just simply display it. The view part or how the beautifully you can make it, I won't be showing you that. I'll be just showing you the logical part of how to grab the data. You can just dump the data into simple text file, or I'll give you some of the code snippets as well. You can just inject it there. I'm majorly focused on to the part where actually things are being used and they are working and all of that. Okay. So now let's go ahead and close all of this. Our tech stack is all ready and happy. Now only thing we need to work on is have this home. Now assuming that user is logged in, let's just say we haven't designed the login or sign up. Let's just say user is logged in. So how you are going to take care of that situation? That is what I'm focusing in here. So we'll be importing some fab here as well. Importing, actually we need to import fab like this. Fab, and yep, it is inside the themed. And again, this is nothing. If you want to study more about this, it's a declared value, but never use it. It's a React functional. So you don't have to worry. I'll walk you through with this one as well. We need to, it's actually, let me write this here as well. React native elements. It's a styling element. That's all it is. And apart from this, we'll be having a snack bar. Again, if you don't want to have it, that's totally fine. Snack bar from React Native snack bar. Let's also bring in context API. How we can bring in the context API? Very simple. We have done this already. This one is Appwrite, no suggestion. Appwrite context. Probably it's not aware of the file, so I'll just first bring the file as well. I'll be saying go one directory back. Inside the Appwrite, we created a file, Appwrite context. Probably now it is aware of it. Appwrite context, yeah. So our context provider is now available to us. Okay. Now, what is the information that you want to display on this homepage? I just have two information, so I'll just create a type for it. So I'll just say user object. Feel free to have more of this. There is no problem. It's just a your defined type, so you can have it. I'll just have a name of type string, and I'll also have this email. In case you have more, just go ahead and add more. No problem at all. Okay. Now, how we are going to handle the logout and all of that, because we have the buttons for that. So I'll just walk you through with the functionality part of it, the code part of it. The UI will be just copying and pasting. So first method is, let's go ahead and work on with the handle logout. Logout. This is a simple method just like this. All right. Now how we are going to go ahead and create this? Right now we cannot. Yes. Why we cannot? Because we have nobody who is actually talking to our service. So how can I reach somebody who can talk to my service? Yes, Appwrite context. So let's go ahead and use this. So I'll actually handle this one. So I need to just go ahead and use this one. Just give me a second. I'll arrange this. What we are doing wrong here is we are actually defining this outside. It should not be outside. Let's cut this and bring it inside the home, so that actually the reason for declaring it inside the home, because I need to create the context as well. Okay, so first and foremost, let's go ahead and say, hey, we want to use something. This something will be given to us by use context. There we go. Use context. What kind of context? Not minus. It's tough sometimes to type and explain at the same time. So what kind of context you want to use? I want to use Appwrite context. So what this Appwrite context will give to you? It will give me Appwrite, which will talk to my service file. And also I'll be also having this set is logged in. That is the two things I need. Nothing much more than that. Now, how can we handle the logout? Now we have somebody who will be talking to my service file. Who's that guy? The Appwrite. Okay. Now Appwrite has a function. We actually said logout. This is not the Appwrite function actually. This is the function what we designed. This is the logout. The Appwrite function is actually delete session. You can actually go ahead and use the delete session directly there, but this much of the things you have to do there also. This much of the piece of the code. That's why we are actually abstracting this code so that we can just directly say, hey, our life is easier. We just simply go ahead and call this method. And then we can go ahead and simply chain a then or a catch, whatever you like, however you like, you can just go with that. In this case, I'll just go with the then. You can always go ahead and work with more. So a callback here, just like this. There we go. Once we have this callback, we're going to first use is set is logged in, again given to us by the context. And we'll be saying, hey, now this is false. So nobody is logged in. And apart from this, let's use the snack bar as well. So snack bar will show a pop-up. And this requires some objects to be passed on. The first one being text. And this one says log out successfully. Successfully. Yeah, whatever. All right. After this, we can have a simple duration. And this one is actually an enum. So we can go ahead and say snack bar dot. And this one is long, short. Short is good. Okay. So there we go. Told you this one is actually the handle logout. Where to impact this? I'll also walk you through with that. Now, obviously, as soon as this home component loads up, we want that the user information should be available to us. In order for the user data to be available, we need to create a state. Obviously, this is where we'll be storing this. So this one will be given to us by use state. And this use state, what data you'll be accepting, what parameters? Of course, user object that we just defined. And here we'll be having user data. Feel free to call it whatever you like. Set user data. All right. No problem at all so far. Now let's go ahead and work with this. Now the next thing is we want to have the use effect hook. So how the use effect hook works? So we say use effect snippet. On what basis your use effect will be impacted? Only one thing, which is Appwrite. So we're going to go ahead and just mention if there is any change in this data or if it tries to do any activity, just try to rerun this use effect again. So we are going to just go ahead and remove this and we'll say, hey, Appwrite, let me go ahead and get a current user. Again, this is not a method of get current user by us. This was given to us by this file, get current user. Inside this, we are using account.get method. Again, really simple. So once it actually does this, again, we can use a classic .then and we simply go ahead and like this. Why this is bothering us? Cannot find the name use effect. Is it so? You should be able to find this. And use context, use a state, use effect. Now you should be aware of it. There we go. Okay, again, really classic. We have the .then and .catch of it. So I'll be just being lazy. I'll be just using this one. Okay, this one is going to give you a response. So response callback. There we go. if there is a response or not. That's a big question. So if there is a response, then we simply go ahead and just say that, hey, I have this user, which is of type user object, and this will have the values. What values? The name. How you'll be getting the name? Really simple. The response from the Appwrite is actually amazing. You can simply go ahead and say all the values are just dot away. So dot name, just like this. You can also print this to actually find it on your own as well. No problem. Response dot email. There we go. But now, obviously, we have created this user object. This doesn't mean that we have actually injected this into user data. How we can inject in user data? By using set user data. So this is the hook which will be doing this. Once I have built this object, all I have to do is use the set user data and pass on this object user here. That's it. Now the data is updated, UI will be updated, and everything will be updated. So this is the most basic thing that we have to do. Now again, I won't be walking you through with all the stylings and all of that. In fact, I'll be just copying and pasting it so that, oh, what did we do? Yeah, this is here. Yeah. So I'll be giving you just directly the style sheets and everything so that you don't have to watch me by styling a button or just making the button into center and all of that. I'll actually not do that. Also, I'll be giving you this return value as well. So these are some of the values that we designed. It's nothing just like we did in the project 2. It's exactly same. So I'll be just giving you some values and I'll walk you through with what we are actually doing here. So notice here, we don't have this return safe area. So I'll be just going ahead and we don't have image as well. So we'll be saying safe area view, and we also want to have image. Let's go ahead and grab this image. Anything else? We have too much return. So I'll just remove this one. There will be error at the end as well. This one. Yeah, all happy now? Yep. Okay, so styling part you can look at on your own. There is nothing much more than Flexbox. Let me walk you through with what we have. We have first this safe area view, which actually avoids all the notches and everything. We have discussed that. Then we simply have this view and a fab. Fab is nothing. It's just a button being given to us by the logout buttons and icons, everything. So this is what the fab is. It's a simple icon of logout and the size large and everything. So no need to worry on that part. In here, we are actually having in this image. This image is again not coming up from the React Native or the Appwrite. This is the hard-coded image that we are using. So again, source and all these default mode and everything. Here, text, we are also using hard-coded, so no problem at all. This is the text that we are using. In case you are feeling a problem in copying and pasting, some people say, I don't like copy pasting. It's okay. Everybody does copy pasting. In case you are feeling little bit weird, this is the piece of code that you should be writing. Just this piece. In fact, from line number 62 to line number 66. This is all. We are injecting a text element. In this, we are saying if the user data is available, then only display this data. That's all what we are saying. What data we are displaying? Simply a name which is coming up from userdata.name and userdata.email. So this is all the home element that we are designing. Told you it's really, really simple. Now moving on, we'll be actually using a similar kind of a thing in the sign up as well. So let's go ahead and work with that as well since we are here. And for this one, actually, we need a couple of these things. So we'll be just grabbing this much at least. So let's go ahead and copy this and paste it up in the sign up as well. Because context and everything, these are common things we have to call the APIs and everything. So this is going to be very common. So we have snack bar, fab. I don't think so we are using in this one, but we'll keep it here. The context, we will be using the Appwrite context as well. So no problem there. We need some navigation as well because we'll be navigating into multiple screens, into sign up and all of that. So we'll need that. So let me go ahead and bring this also. So I'll just grab it from my notes because we actually used it. And I'll just add this one here. So navigation, so we are using native stack, screen props, and auth stack param list. Again, we are bringing them from other routes, auth stack, really basic, just what we declared there. Okay, now, first and foremost, just like we did in the past one as well, we'll be using this auth stack param list in case you remember that. So we declare a type here and we simply go ahead and say sign up. Let me go ahead and write that. It's a big one. Sign up screen props. Okay, this one will be coming up from native stack screen props, and this one will go native stack screen props, just like this. There we go. And here we have to provide the auth stack param list. Very, very boring. And that's it. And we'll be saying what for this one. This one is actually for, oops. This one is for sign up. Same will be done in the login as well. So there is no big deal. Okay, we don't need this one here. Okay, now the interesting part actually comes up in the sign up, how we are going to handle the sign up. Now, obviously, in order to handle the sign up, we need to first bring the context. So that part we can actually borrow from here. So this one will be able to grab the app context. So copy this and paste it up here. So first part is actually super easy. All right. Now, the next thing is we don't have the use context. Okay, copy and paste it at the top. Use context. There we go. Happy now. Okay, so now in theory at least, I have this Appwrite which can actually help me to grab the context anytime. But this is not enough this time because in the sign up you have a lot more data. So obviously you need more of the use state thing. So let's go ahead and do this. The first one you need is error, obviously. Error, and this one will be set error so that we can set the error. No problem there. This one will be use state. And this one will be bringing in nothing much but a string, and the default value will be empty string. Okay, now if this is all good, now we need name, email, password, repeat password. That's what we designed up for. In case you have less of them, go ahead and use less. So I'll be having, don't want to do this. And let's see, how do we duplicate this? I forgot. No, I remember. So we have name, email, password, repeat password. Okay, so let's go ahead and say this one is actually name, this one is email, and this one is password, and this one is repeat password. All right, so this one is going to be set error. Then we have this set name, capital N. Then we have this set email. This one will be set password. Told you, that's why I sometimes copy paste to save your time, not mine. Set repeat password. All right. So all the values are done. All the values are empty. No problem. Now the biggest method that we are going to design is this one. Handle. And by the way, in case you forgot, in the home, we have this logout. So by the way, in case you didn't actually notice here, this is the on press and this is where we are passing this handle logout. So in case you missed that. Now this one will be handle sign up. Handle sign up. There we go. Just like this. Very basic. Okay. Now the bigger $1 million question is how we are going to do the sign up. Now the first thing is, before we handle the sign up, I have actually designed a couple of error prone checking as well. I won't be boring you with that by writing this very basic code. I'll be just giving it to you directly. We are if and else, nothing more. So if the name length is less than 1, if the email length is less than 1, password is less than 1, repeat password is less than 1, just one user like A, we are not registering it. Apart from this, we are having all input fields being required. So we are actually saying this, that all input fields are required and password should match as well. That's basic. And we are simply having this one. Now, otherwise, we are actually collecting all the user information in the name, email, and password. That's all what we are doing. The repeat password field is not what we are creating or we are capturing. Okay. So this is the basic that we have done. Now, after this, once this part is all done, let me go ahead and minimize this one. So this should be a little bit here. Okay. So looks like all good. Let me just quickly check if we are actually inside this or outside this. Probably here. Sometimes this is what bothers me while copy pasting the code. It should have given me here as, okay, this part close here, this part close here, this part close here. And this is, okay, this is handle sign up. Let me just quickly check this. Otherwise we'll be making an error. All right, taken a deep look onto this one. So yes, we are in the correct phase. We should be into this else container. So else we are actually collecting all the information into the user. That is absolutely correct. Now we need to simply use Appwrite and call a method. So we'll be just calling the Appwrite and we'll be using a method. One more time, let's go ahead and check this method. In case you noticed, while creating an account, we need the email, password and name. That's why we are exactly collecting that much only. So coming back here, we'll be saying, hey, Appwrite, remember, given to us by context. You have a method which says create account. So go ahead and please create an account. And I'll just go ahead and move it on to the next line. It's easier to read this way. And in here, I'll just pass on to the user. Pass on you a user so that you can create an account. If you're able to successfully create this, then simply go ahead and use it then. And again, in case you are not able to do this, we can actually handle this into catch. The catch part is easy. So let's go ahead and grab the error and we'll be throwing it out. We'll be saying that if we get an error, so console log this, console log an error, just like this. And we'll be saying set error to e.messages. Not messages, actually message. Message. All right. And what happens if the account is successfully created? Then it's okay. We are actually going to handle that into then situation. Then it will be a response given to us. So I'll be just going ahead and say, then you'll be giving me a response. And if response, we'll be just typing it any. I know it's not a good thing, but we'll be just typecasting it as any. And we'll be just saying, hey, there is a callback, just like this. And we'll be saying, if there is a response, then the set is logged in will be changed. Again, if you don't want to log in, want to redirect onto the login page, that's up to you. And we'll be saying snack bar dot show requires an object which says text, which will be saying as sign up success. And how long do you want to show it? That's the compulsory parameter. It's a duration. Duration will be just like this, and we'll be saying it's an enum. Snack bar dot, so enums, I love them. This one will be length short. All right. So this is all what we have to do. Told you it's super easy. There is nothing much more than that. This whole thing in this sign up is nothing much. Why were we having this error here? Probably we messed up a little bit. This should be sign up. Let me just check if we are missing a curly brace here. Yes, we were missing a curly brace. All right. I'll still check it again before just pushing it onto the Git so that we actually work on with this one. Now again, I'll be just giving you the views of the return as well so that you don't have to worry. So I'll be giving you this return view as well, and I'll give you the this one as well. Don't worry. Keyboard avoiding view and all of this logged in container and all of that, I'll give you that one as well. This is nothing much. This is just a styling part, which is bothering. So there we go. Once we have the styling part, half of the error will be gone. The only error remaining is now we don't have pressable. What else we don't have? Text input and keyboard avoiding view. Let's go ahead and grab this. So first one is keyboard avoiding view, text input and pressable. Anything else? And looks okay. Handle sign up. Don't we have the handle sign up? Oh, the naming is bad. Handle sign up. Should be all good. What else? Platform. We don't have platform also. Let's bring in platform here. Platform. So I think all the errors should be gone now. And we also have the navigation as well. So this navigation also needs to come in. So I'll be just bringing this navigation. Let me bring this. This navigation. Okay, so navigation.navigate, we are navigating to login. For this, we need to actually work on this home handle, not handle, the sign up component itself. So this one will be taking a prop of navigate. And this navigate will be of type of sign up screen props. And there we go. Why this is? Navigate is declared but never read. So let me just quickly check that what are the mistakes we are doing here. I don't know why it took us a little bit while to debug it, but it's navigation, not navigate. All right. Now let me walk you through with all the details. Now we have all of this. Let me walk you through one by one what we are doing here. First of all, you can see There is nothing much going on. First and foremost, we are giving this keyboard avoiding view based on the platform. We are giving padding and height, so there is no problem at all. Then inside the view, we are actually having this form container. I'm not going to be explaining the styles. We have done this quite a lot in detail. Then this is the major part. We are handling the name. Just like we are handling name, we are handling email, password, repeat password, and all of that. So this is the value that we have. And on change text, we are actually firing up this set name. So as soon as the value changes, we are calling our use state and we are storing the values into it. Now placeholder, we are using name and this all values. So as soon as somebody changes any text into this, the text of this on change text actually gets and save into the this name here. The exact same method is being repeated. So just like we are handling this text input, we are handling this one here as well for email. This one we are handling for the password. This one we are handling for the repeat password, so no problem at all. This error validation is also going on, so if there is an error, we are just handling all the errors at one place. As soon as we click on this pressable, which is a simple way to have the sign up, we are handling this handle sign up just right there. So handle sign up takes all the values, call our service, send all the values to the Appwrite, and Appwrite gives us the response. And simply here the login navigation is also there, so somebody who has moved into the sign up screen, he is allowed to move into the login screen as well. This is exactly what we are doing, and this is exactly going to be a copy and paste into this one, our login as well. So let me just walk you through with that as well, because it's a good thing that we practice all these things. But again, in the login as well, I'll be giving you the returning view and the styling as well. So let's go ahead and work with this. Again, we can borrow some code at least from here. So I can just take this one and till here. Copy this, move into login. And we can actually go ahead and paste it here. There we go. Now, instead of this time, we don't want to have the sign up screen props. We will have login screen props. So no problem there. Login screen props. And this time it will be auth stack param list. Yeah, the param list is actually same, the auth stack param lists. And we have. Now inside the login, what is the thing we have to do? The exact same thing. This one remains same. So let's just go ahead and copy this and paste it up here. So there we go. Instead of login screen props, we'll be having sign up screen props. Instead of that, we'll be having login screen props. Okay. Now the same thing, the states are going to be exactly same. So we can, instead of wasting our time, we can just simply go ahead and copy paste them now that we understand. So we have this use context, we have use state, we are having error. Obviously, from the context, we are bringing in Appwrite, which is doing all the talking with our service. We have this email, we have this password as well. All right. Now, only one method that we have to write is really, really simple. Let's go ahead and write this. It will be a good practice for us. So this one will be handle login. And with the handle login, we go like this. There we go. Now in this, first of all, let's write an if condition. What is the if condition? If email.length, we want something to be there. So email.length, if it is less than 1, or there is another condition, if the password dot length, if this is less than 1, then obviously we don't want to proceed. So in this case, we'll go ahead and set the error. And what are going to be the value inside this? We'll just say all fields are required. All right. Now, once we have this, then simply in the else condition, if everything is all great, then let's go ahead and create a user, just like we did the last time. This will have the email, obviously from the state. It will also have the password, obviously from the state. So there we go. Now we have this user object being all created. All we have to do is call the Appwrite. And this Appwrite is going to simply go ahead and fire up a method, which is login. Once it has fired this one, let's give it a user. Again, to check the service, when we have this login feature, it requires email and password. So we'll give it this to him. And once this login is all done, we will wait for its response to come up. So it can be a dot then, or it can be a simple dot catch, async await code. And in case error is given to us, we'll simply go ahead and say, hey, error comes up. So let's do a console log of this one. So we'll say, hey, error, and we'll also set up our set error with the error message. Set email with, we'll write custom one here, which will be incorrect email or password. And if everything goes right, then obviously we'll just do nothing much. The same piece of code will get a response. We'll write this here. Come on. Yeah, good now. We'll just write a callback like this. This will give us a response. And if the response comes up, let's check first if the response is there. If response is there, then simply go ahead and set is logged in as true so that user can actually change the stack from our router. True. And if it is all great, then let's show the snack bar as well. Snack bar dot show. And if this goes right, there we go. And here we're going to go ahead and have this text, which will say login success and the length or duration. Oh, why no suggestions? Oh, I forgot the comma. Where it is going. Duration. Yep, that's the one I want. And this one is snack bar dot. We'll go with the length short. All right, so told you this is super easy. This is only the part. Rest of the part is exactly a copy paste of what we did in the last time. So I'll just do the exact same. We'll just go ahead and grab a return value. Obviously, we have to fix up some bugs. Not the bugs, actually, some values are not present. So we'll just go ahead and first let's move this. And we'll actually copy and paste. All right, so a lot of CSS that we have written for you so that you don't have to worry. Let's talk about this one. Obviously, all the missing values are there because we copied from the sign up. Exactly same values we are using. So notice here again, let me walk you through with the code. This is keyboard avoiding view that we are using and nothing much more. Inside the view, we are having just the two field this time. Again, text input field. The values are being set to the state. And as soon as somebody changes anything like on change text, we are actually firing up the set email to set this value of the text. Really simple, absolute basic. Now, once we are done with this email and password, we are handing all the errors in just one text format. As soon as the button is there, pressable, we are simply saying that, hey, on press, just handle the login. The method that we designed is actually doing everything. Once this is all done, we also have this pressable here, which is taking them to the create account option. So that's basically it. So I told you it's actually super easy. Let me again walk you through one more time with this application because this is a really big project that we have worked on. But this is absolutely reusable. You can just take this code from the GitHub repository, and anytime that you have to work on any logic, functionality or anything, login doesn't need to change, sign up doesn't need to change, the components Appwrite doesn't need to change. You can start working from the home itself, and just home, this boilerplate code will work absolutely great out of the box. All you have to do is start writing your more components and stuff. In case you don't want to even do this much, just change the text layout of this one and start building your screen, and simply go into the routes and into the app stack route, just go ahead and add your screens. That is, even router is out of the box configured. All right. So this was great. Let me walk you through one more time of how we actually taken down this project. So the goal was simple. We wanted to understand how the authentication works in a proper manner. So first we created this service file. This was the most important, our class file, which will be helping us to having queries to the database, Appwrite to log in, log out, authenticate and everything. For this, we spent an entire video on it. Now we understand every piece of it, that how we can grab the current user, log out, log in, email, everything we have done in it. After this, the most important thing was creating this context using the context provider or the provider that we have. So we have used this Appwrite context and all of this. Now, a couple of things that we are exporting which are super important for us is the default values. Appwrite is logged in and set logged in. Once we have this, we can actually sandwich everything in the router inside this. So we obviously have this router, which is using this again navigation container, and based on whether you are logged in or not, because we are firing up again this app right here. Remember, the context and everything is coming up here as well. Based on this, we are giving him either the auth stack or the app stack. If the auth stack is there, he will be logged in or sign up and all of that. Why this name is actually giving up this? The type login is not assigned to sign up. Okay, so looks like there is error. Not assignable to type sign up. Why is that? Login. Let me just quickly check this, why we are facing this error. All right, fixed it. Super easy fix. What it was problem was in the login screen. So if you remember in the sign up screen, we are actually doing the sign up like this. So export default sign up. So this should also be giving us the problem. What I did in the login was I actually removed this export default login. Instead, we just simply said, hey, I want to export const login. I think we should do this in the sign up as well to stay consistent. I don't want to have this export default just like this. So I'll just comment this out and I'll be saying export. I think that is an export issue. So we'll just fix this up. Let's go back into the auth stack. And now this is all happy. And save this. Now we have this sign up, and we need to obviously change this auth stack. So we'll be having this one is import. Let me just fix this one as well. Took me some while, but yeah, finally we debugged it. That's how the real world development works. It's never smooth. It always takes time, but I'll walk you through what we did. So when we copied and pasted from the sign up, we actually pasted it into login. And here the auth stack param list was actually sign up. It should be login. Yeah, that is it. And now as soon as I save this, you'll notice that this is all happy. And yes, I tried by moving them up and down and whatnot. But yes, finally, this is what is going to solve this one. A lot of the debugging, but thank goodness we actually caught it up. So this is really, really nice. So as I was saying, this is the auth stack that we have created based on whether it will be given an auth stack or will be given app stack. And this home and all of this is not really a big deal. As you have noticed, we can create the contest, bring the Appwrite, and just fire up as many things as we want from the service itself. So a lot of work. But finally, really happy glad we actually did it. It was a really long project. But with the source code available on my GitHub as well, link is in the description again. You can just use it and build so much more on top of this. Let's go ahead and catch up in another such video.